What if I told you that one of the top F1 drivers is facing the fight of his career not against rivals on the track, but within his own team? A season riddled with struggles and controversies has put Sergio Perez in a precarious position, and the stakes couldn't be higher as the Las Vegas Grand Prix unfolds. Sergio Perez, whose season has been nothing short of turbulent, faced yet another setback in Las Vegas. The Mexican driver, piloting his Red Bull RB20, struggled with grip issues throughout the weekend, leading to a crushing elimination in Q1. Adding to the pressure, whispers within the team suggest that his seat for 2025 may not be as secure as he once believed. Red Bull's Helmut Marko hasn't held back, openly criticizing Perez and hinting that a decision regarding his future is imminent. Red Bull entered the Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend with high expectations, aiming to close the gap in the Constructors' Championship. A strong showing from both drivers was essential, but Perez's early exit marked his sixth Q1 elimination of the season, a worrying pattern for a team that thrives on consistency. Since the summer break, Perez has managed to collect only 20 points, and his lackluster performance has caused the Milton Keynes-based team to slip to third in the standings, trailing behind McLaren and Ferrari. This begs the question, is the clock ticking on Perez's time with Red Bull? Can he turn things around in the season's final races, or is the team already exploring other options for his seat? The pressure on Sergio Perez to deliver is immense. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner emphasized the importance of having both drivers performing at their peak to secure crucial points. For the Constructors' Championship, we need both cars competing up front, Horner stated earlier in the weekend. However, after yet another dismal qualifying performance, Perez's ability to rise to the occasion is under intense scrutiny. Perez attributed his Q1 elimination to persistent grip issues, claiming the car lacked balance and responsiveness during qualifying. "We've struggled with pace throughout the weekend," he admitted to reporters. Looking back, we should have used 2 sets of tires in Q1 because we were clearly not competitive enough. Low-speed cornering has been a challenge, and any extra sliding destroys the tires almost instantly. While the RB20 has been a dominant car in the hands of Max Verstappen, Perez has struggled to adapt to its nuances. The Mexican driver openly acknowledged a fundamental issue with the car's setup that hampers his driving style. "There's something about the car that doesn't align with how I drive," he explained. "Every weekend feels like a trial and error process. Without the right grip, mistakes become unavoidable, and it's incredibly frustrating knowing what I'm capable of, but not being able to execute." Starting from 16th on the grid for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Perez admitted the race would be a challenging one. However, he expressed optimism, citing the high number of overtakes during last year's event. "It's going to be tough, but anything can happen in a race this long," he said. "Our pace tends to improve over longer runs compared to single-lap performance, so I'm hopeful we can move up the field." Yet optimism alone may not be enough. Perez is running out of opportunities to produce the standout result needed to secure his seat for 2025. Red Bull's shortlist of potential replacements continues to grow, with Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, and even Williams driver Logan Sargent emerging as contenders. Speculation about Perez's future only intensified after Helmut Marko's candid remarks about the team's performance expectations. Time is running out for Sergio Perez, and the pressure to perform has reached its peak. Following his latest qualifying disappointment, Perez faces not just the challenge of improving his performance but also the looming possibility of losing his seat. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko did not hold back, admitting that Perez's current form is far from what the team needs. "He simply wasn't fast enough," Marko remarked after Perez's Q1 exit in Las Vegas. While acknowledging that Perez had a different setup than Verstappen, Marko made it clear that this was no excuse for his underperformance. Marko hinted that decisions regarding Perez's future would be made shortly after the season's final race in Abu Dhabi. "We'll evaluate all possibilities and then decide," he stated, adding fuel to rumors that Red Bull might part ways with the Mexican driver. Despite Marko's strong opinions, the ultimate decision rests with Christian Horner, who seems more inclined to give Perez the benefit of the doubt, at least for now. However, as Verstappen continues to excel in the same machinery, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the growing gap between the two teammates. Verstappen, despite struggling with his RB20 over the weekend, managed to qualify in 5th position, well ahead of Perez. The Dutchman admitted that the car's setup posed challenges, especially with tire management and top speed on the long Las Vegas straights. "We lose a lot of time on the straights because of the wing setup," Verstappen explained. but compared to yesterday, the car felt more balanced and we managed to extract the maximum from it. Meanwhile, Perez has yet to demonstrate similar adaptability. His inability to work around the RB20's quirks has been a recurring issue throughout the season, a stark contrast to Verstappen's ability to consistently deliver strong results even under less than ideal circumstances. For Perez, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Las Vegas Grand Prix Rex might be one of his last chances to prove he can still compete at the highest level. Sergio Perez's struggles in Las Vegas go beyond the technical challenges of the track. The pressure of performing under constant scrutiny has taken a toll on the 34-year-old driver. While he remains hopeful about turning things around, the reality is that his seat at Red Bull has never been more vulnerable. With each underwhelming performance, the whispers about his potential replacements grow louder. Two names that frequently surface in discussions are Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. Both drivers have showcased solid performances this season, with Tsunoda consistently pushing the limits of his AlphaTauri and Lawson impressing during his brief stint as a stand-in driver. In Las Vegas qualifying, both managed to outpace Perez, adding fuel to the speculation surrounding his future. Even Franco Capito, a rising star at Williams, has been mentioned as a potential contender, further highlighting the growing list of options Red Bull has at its disposal. Christian Horner, however, has taken a more measured approach to the situation. He recently suggested that Red Bull could wait until as late as the Australian Grand Prix next year to finalize their driver lineup. "We have all the drivers under contract and we're fully aware of their current agreements," Horner explained. "We could delay the decision until Melbourne if necessary, but we'll assess all the data after Abu Dhabi." Despite Horner's willingness to give Perez more time, Helmut Marko's stance remains firm. Perez is underperforming, Marko stated bluntly. "We cannot afford to have one car consistently struggling to meet expectations." Marko's influence within Red Bull may have diminished in recent years, but his voice still carries significant weight in decisions like these, and with Verstappen continuing to shine, the contrast in performance between the two drivers becomes even harder to overlook. While Verstappen managed to qualify in fifth, the Dutchman admitted the weekend had been far from smooth. "The car was tricky, but we extracted everything we could," he shared. Verstappen's ability to adapt under challenging conditions underscores the expectations Red Bull has for its drivers, expectations that Perez has been struggling to meet. As the team gears up for the final races of the season, Perez faces mounting pressure to deliver results. Whether he can rise to the occasion, or whether Red Bull will opt for a fresh face in 2025 remains to be seen. Despite all the criticism and challenges, Sergio Perez remains focused on salvaging his season. Starting from 16th on the grid in Las Vegas, he knows that delivering a standout performance is the only way to quiet the doubters and remind Red Bull why he deserves to stay. However, the obstacles are considerable. The Las Vegas circuit, with its unique demands on speed and precision, has already exposed the RB20's weaknesses, particularly in Perez's hands. Perez expressed cautious optimism ahead of the race, pointing to the high number of overtakes recorded last year as a glimmer of hope. "A lot can happen in a race like this," he stated. "Our race pace is generally stronger than our qualifying performance, so I'm optimistic about making progress." However, he also acknowledged that climbing through the field would not be easy, especially with the car's apparent shortcomings in grip and balance. Meanwhile, Verstappen, who qualified significantly higher than Perez, hinted at the challenges both drivers faced with the car's setup. The team's decision to run a less efficient rear wing for the Las Vegas circuit raised questions about their overall preparation. While rumors circulated that Red Bull had forgotten to pack a specific rear wing for the track, Christian Horner dismissed these claims outright. "We didn't forget anything," Horner clarified. "We made the decision not to bring a low downforce wing because of the cost cap constraints. We trimmed the existing wing as much as we could, but it's not an ideal setup for this circuit." The final stretch of the 2024 season holds the key to Sergio Perez's future at Red Bull. While Christian Horner maintains a diplomatic stance, emphasizing the team's patience in evaluating all options, Helmut Marko's position is far more direct. "We need results, not excuses," Marko stated plainly. This sentiment reflects the growing frustration within Red Bull, a team that has consistently set the benchmark for excellence in Formula One. Perez, however, is not backing down. He believes that with the right adjustments and a bit of luck, he can deliver the kind of performance that justifies his place in the team. "I know what I'm capable of," he remarked, "and I'm determined to prove myself. The car hasn't suited my driving style this season, but we've been working on solutions. I just need one strong result to turn things around." Red Bull, meanwhile, is weighing its options. Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson have both shown promise, with Tsunoda demonstrating consistency and Lawson making a strong case during his temporary stint with AlphaTauri. Even Williams driver Franco Capito is considered a potential candidate, adding to the pressure on Perez. The team's management knows that choosing the right driver for 2025 is crucial, especially as they face increasing competition from McLaren and Ferrari. For Verstappen, the focus remains on maximizing the car's performance, regardless of the challenges. Despite the RB20's shortcomings on the Las Vegas circuit, the Dutchman's ability to adapt has kept Red Bull in contention. "We're doing what we can with what we have," Verstappen said after qualifying. His comments highlight the importance of a driver's ability to work around limitations, something Perez has struggled to do consistently this season. As the Las Vegas Grand Prix unfolds, the stakes couldn't be higher for Perez. Every lap, every overtake, and every decision will be scrutinized, not just by the team but by fans and analysts alike. A strong performance could buy him the time he needs to secure his seat, but another disappointing outing may lead Red Bull to move on. In the high-stakes world of Formula One, loyalty only goes so far. Results are what matter, and with Red Bull standards as high as ever, Perez knows he must deliver. The coming races will decide whether he remains part of the Red Bull story or if the team turns to new talent to carry them forward. What do you think? Should Red Bull stick with Perez, or is it time for a fresh start? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see how the drama unfolds as the season races to its conclusion.